Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern at the request of Patreon subscriber Serial. This is his own brew. This is Rug Asmo-Lands. This is a deck that Serial's been working on. And there's a lot going on here. Let's begin to unpack it. First off, we have Azmoran. She is, of course, the engine that turns extra cards into food, turns food into damage, and is also a 1-mana 3/3 if you can discard cards reliably. To support the discard, we have 4 Street Wraith, we have the 4 Underworld Cookbook, Seismic Assault, and a number of channel cards. Channeling a card does count as discarding it. Obviously, we're not going to be channeling Boseiju or Otawara on turn 1 to get Azmoran into play. She may come a little later than that, but it's there. Also, when she's there, she is a legend, so it reduces the cost of Otawara and Boseiju. Cool stuff there. Discarding cards to make food normally isn't a great deal unless you're playing against specifically Burn. So, like, turning every card in your hand into Healing Salve, generally not where you want to go. That card is not known for being very good. But this deck has Life from the Loam and Wrenn and 6 to pick up lands over and over again to discard for fun and profit. Also cashing out on the lands, we mentioned it already because it overlaps with the Asmo, is Seismic Assault. Discard a land, deal 2 damage to any target. This has been largely unplayable in its entire existence since 1998 or whenever it was Exodus came out. It saw some like sideboard play in Loam decks in the past, in like extended. It was a key combo piece in the Seismic Swans deck with Swans of Brynargle. You discard lands to hit your own Swan and draw 2 cards and draw more lands and hit your Swan and draw more cards. That was a real deck that existed for a while and hasn't really been seen since. And it's a 3 of in this deck. It's a big engine card in what we're doing here. You really need to turn your lands into profit in Modern. Modern is not a format that moves slowly, but it is a format full of things you can hit for 2 damage. Slogurk the Overslime is hanging out over here as a combination legendary creature for the channel lands. Beat Stick to actually win the game. Whenever a land is put into your graveyard from anywhere, put a +1 counter on Slogurk. So Seismic Assault, cha-ching, crack a fetch land, cha-ching, surveil land into your graveyard, cha-ching, dredge a land when you're picking up your Life from the Loam, cha-ching, discarding a land to Underworld Cookbook. All of these grow Slogurk. And then you can remove 3 +1 counters from Slogurk, return it to its owner's hand, and when it leaves the battlefield, return up to 3 land cards from your graveyard to your hand. This is a giant creature. It's card advantage. It's another Loam. It's a payoff for all your discard stuff. Slogurk is really awesome in this deck. At the top end, we just have 2 of the most powerful Planeswalkers ever printed in Jace and Chandra. With Teferi hanging out, there are 2 cards in the deck that are white, which is 1 Teferi in the main and 1 Prismatic Ending in the sideboard. I don't know that this Prismatic Ending is going to survive to when we actually play. I'll probably cut this for like literally any card that doesn't cost white. Serial and I did a coaching session where we worked on this deck a bit, and I think that between the Rockrin Triome and the Sacred Foundry and all the land stuff going on, 1 Teferi is kind of a big game. This card's just really good. I could see it being something else if you want to smooth out just the rug colors, but Teferi's strong enough. It shuts down all the Cascade decks by itself, takes a lot of the worry out of blue-white or 4-color, or is it Murktide? Just Deck's not having instants is a big deal. But I'm going to poke around and see if I can replace this Prismatic Ending. And the last card, of course, is Urza Saga. A card that should need no introduction, but in the context of this deck specifically, recurring Urza Saga is a tried and true way to win games in all Eternal formats right now. Life from the Loam picks it up, Ren picks it up, Slogurk picks it up. Saga is an enchantment and a land for Dragon's Rage Channeler. Get that Turbo Delirium. Saga gets artifacts into your graveyard pretty easily. If you go find Aether Spellbomb, pop that thing, quick Delirium. The foods that Underworld Cookbook cranks out grow your constructs. So your constructs have this backdoor to just arrive as like 5/5, 6/6, 7/7, and converting your discard into damage. This is sort of like another Slogurk, where when you discard a land, Slogurk gets bigger. When you discard anything to Cookbook, your constructs get bigger. So we're coming in with Urza Saga from the land row. We've got Asmo-Loam gaining life and picking off creatures. All sorts of planeswalkers, many of the best planeswalkers ever printed present in this deck, generating card advantage. DRC getting card selection and beating down. Seismic Assault threatening to pick off creatures left and right. There's a lot going on here, and a lot of it does overlap in pretty interesting ways. And there is this Fun of Tameshi as well. Whenever one or more non-creature permanents are returned to your hand, draw a card, triggers once per turn. And X white, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Return target artifact or enchantment card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Urza Saga is an enchantment card. Aether Spellbomb is an artifact. Cookbook is an artifact. Tameshi, only one of. It's not... I've played Tameshi combo on the channel. This is not what this is. There's no like way to go off. But returning a land you control, paying 1 white. Oh, Tameshi needs white activation. I see what you're doing here, Serial. We need white for Tameshi anyway, so Teferi's kind of free. Okay. I'm caught up on the mana spread. So for 1 white, you can bounce a land you control, where lands, as we've talked about, are good in your hand in this deck. And you get to draw a card because a non-creature permanent returned to your hand, and you get to return Urza Saga to play from the graveyard. This shit is exciting. Also another legend to reduce your channel lands, which I've brought up a couple times, and generally that's flavor text in decks, but if you have 2 legends in play, Otawara and Ren and 6, that's kind of a soft lock. Like, a lot of decks can't get through their best thing getting bounced every turn for cheaper than they can play it. Just saying. Or like any legend in play, making Boseiju cost 1 instead of 2 if you're Ren and 6ing against Tron or something. Like, it matters that there are all of these passive legends in the deck and multiple different legends, so you can get Otawara down to a 2 or 1 mana effect. And now that I have reminded myself that Tameshi requires white to really get active, I'm going to leave the Prismatic Ending here. That spell is strong enough that it's worth putting in the deck, since we have this soft commitment to white anyway. I'm in. The sideboard is just hate cards for things. Got that Alpine Moon for Urza Saga Mirrors and Tron, Shattering Spree for Affinity decks and Hammer decks, Unholy Heat, one of the best removal spells in the format, maybe the best. Anger of the Gods is a sweeper, Chandra is a sweeper or a win condition versus control decks. 4 Endurance for when you really need to beat up graveyards or challenge the board. Ashiok against decks like Living End that build up a graveyard over time, or Amulet Titan that needs to search its deck to win and be functional. Ashiok's just a sweet card. Chalice of the Void for the Cascade decks and the Prismatic Ending we already talked about. And that's the deck. Let's go try this crazy pile. One more thing that I forgot to mention about the deck, the Dragon's Rage Channelers. We are also experimenting with a Ragavan version, and Serial has donated for me to play that deck as well. So check back next week. If you like this deck, I'll make my updates, whatever I learn from playing this league. Plus, I'm going to turn these DRCs into Ragavans. So if you like this sort of thing, another one's coming. We are on the draw for round 1, and I have a turn 1 Asmo and into Urza Saga. The Ren and 6 a little awkward here, but I'm keeping. Sea Chrome Coast. All right, yep, I was about to say we can expect hammer time here. Street Wraith. Cycle that. Sacred Foundry casts Ren. And you know what's cool? Asmo is not a non-creature spell. All right, grab myself a cookbook and we're off to the races. Putting a 3/3 in front of Esper Sentinel on turn 1 without casting any non-creature spells is pretty exciting. Looks like it may not matter if we're just fucking dead here. And I'm not going to block, but it might be hammer time. Oh yeah. Too little, too late. And it's turn 1. I've forgotten 1 turn and I'm already too late. Yeah, it's fine. How do I get out of this? I'm going to consult my deck list, see if I have any outs at all. Teferi, Aether Spellbomb. All right, Spellbomb does play. Can I get there in time? Okay, so if I play Saga now, then cast the cookbook. I don't want to give them an extra card. Oh, shit. I have to give them an extra card. I don't have 10 mana. Whoops. All right, I wasn't using that mana anyway. Reflex. So I have to chump for a turn, then find a way to survive the following. Oh, I can make a construct. I'm just slowly working my way up to Aether Spellbomb, and if they find a removal spell, a second threat, or a Shadow Spear, in the meantime, I'm dead. Okay, this is going to get Shadow Spear, then I'm dead. Yep. There's Modern being a high-powered format. I had all these cool engines. I had turn 1 Asmo into Ren and 6 and Tameshi, and Urza Saga was ready to be recouped with Loam, and it doesn't matter because I'm not getting a 3rd turn. Welcome to the big leagues. This is a matchup for Shattering Spree. Chalice of the Void. Little awkward. This isn't really what Chalice is for, but I'm definitely going to have it. Ashiok's interesting because it shuts down Stoneforge Mystic, but that's about all it does. Unholy Heat, Anger of the Gods. Alpine Moon beats up their sagas. I'm not sure if I'm bringing all this in. Like, I'm not sure where I'm going to find room for it. I think that Chandra TOD is too slow. Jace can at least bounce, which removes a creature of any size. Tameshi's too slow. I don't need all my Loams. We're going to spend a lot of time. Like, I'll find a Loam eventually if I stabilize the game, but if I don't stabilize the game, then it won't matter if I have Loam. I don't really want Street Wraith in my deck, but it's really the only enabler for Asmo, who, if I can get Asmo into foods, it becomes really hard for them to do anything. Maybe Jace is too slow. Just looking at all these things I want to bring in. I don't have to bring in the Chalices, but Chalice does overlap really poorly with what I'm trying to do too. Okay. That frees me up some space, and I think Seismic Assault's one of the most important cards here. Ren is pretty important on the play, picking off 1-drops. All of my Urza Saga targets are good. Beseiju is good. Do I cut 1 Street Wraith? Is that right? I think I need Slogurk. I need something that challenges the battlefield at some point. Maybe Channeler's not great. Okay, I'm going to try this. Matchup seems rough on paper. Like, we have all sorts of engines that if they get online, like Ren plus Beseiju or Seismic Assault or Asmo plus the requisite number of foods. There's a lot of ways we can sort of pinch this matchup closed, but we do have to survive that long. Okay. I have another turn 1 Asmo. Cycle Street Wraith. Anger of the Gods, pretty sweet. Stomping Ground. Asmo, get in. This is what I was talking about with Cookbook kind of sucks if you don't have an engine to go with it. If I don't find a Ren or a Loam, I'm just discarding cards to make food. Which now looks really awkward that I boarded out 2 Loams. The Garda's Aid is in play now. Hey! Rewarded. What can I do with this? I can fetch basic mountain. Yeah, I think I want red maxed out because Seismic Assault and Shattering Spree are both cards in my deck. I'm going to grab mountain and then use Ren and 6 to pick this up. And I'm going to attack. If they have Ginger Brute, you got me. Otherwise, we have a plan coming together here. And they don't know I have 2 cookbooks. Like, I can immediately make 2 foods. Oh yeah, Urza Saga. Feed me. Bring a Leaf Drone. Another Wren, good stuff. Okay, I gotta fetch another red source here. Guess it doesn't have to be red now. What's my next objective here? Slogurk is blue. The way I sideboarded, basically everything I care about is in Gruul. But I should start getting to work on other colors. Steam Vents gets me Otawara and Slogurk. Sacred Foundry gets me Prismatic Ending. The Fairy is 2 cards away regardless. I'm going to get Steam Vent, stick with the red theme. I'm going to bounce my Wooded Foothills. Then I'm going to Underworld Cookbook and Underworld Cookbook and Alpine Moon, destroying their Urza Saga. Urza Saga is placed in the graveyard as a state-based action because it's a saga that doesn't have any chapters. And I can generate 2 foods and destroy a creature at instant speed. Or Steel Pally. Alright, that's one of the better ones. I'm going to respond to this by making 2 foods. Then Pally can resolve. They have Sigarda's Aid, which means they can cast things with Flash, and I want to make sure I have that respected. Turn Wooded Foothills to my hand. I think I just want to make 2 more foods and make sure this Pure Steel Paladin dies. Or I can sit here and not do that. I'll play Channeler. And I'm just going to chill. Like, they have to make the first move, so I'll be patient. The Wren is mitigating the double cookbook, but Loam would really, I'd be going off instead of just getting value. Oh, okay. That was honest of them. I was a little worried. Turns out it didn't need to be. Okay, just talked myself back into more Loams. I think Channeler is probably pretty bad. I'm really slow to get Delirium, and I don't really want to be attacking this deck. This is a matchup where I would generally shave or board out entirely Ragavan as well. And yeah, I think DRC is in sort of the same boat. If I'm shaving 1-drops anyway, do I want Chalice? Probably not. Even if I board out all my DRCs, I still have 11 1-drops in the deck, and they're all pretty important. Many of them can come in off Urza Saga, and I don't have to cast them, but like Alpine Moon, Shattering... You can jam a Shattering Spree through Chalice. If you replicate, Chalice will counter the original copy, and then you get all your replicates. So Shattering Spree can push through. Yeah, I think I'd just rather cast removal spells in this matchup. Though, are the various Chandras better than DRC now that we're getting this low on this sort of effect? Like it's awkward to bring in Chandra TOD on the draw after I didn't have it on the play, where it would be much better on the play. But the plan is evolving as we're playing here. I think I'm just going to leave it with the 2 channelers. I think there is more to figure out here, though. Oof. This hand is tough. Probably have to ship it. A hand with Urza Saga and Red and 6 in many modern matchups, I'm just in like Flynn, but this is not one of them. Alright, another turn 1 Asmo. I cannot be stopped. You can't keep getting away with it. I'm going to keep this and send, I think it's Shadow Spear, because everything else is a removal spell or interactive or enabler of some kind. Opponent's also multiple to 6. And I do have a Sacred Foundry in the deck that I can fetch. Opponent over there rolling their eyes that I'm doing this again. Getting the Sacred Foundry. Another turn 1 Asmo. It's like we just always have it. It wasn't good enough game 1. It won game 2 by itself. What's going on for game 3? What's the follow-up? There's the Aid. This time I'm at least ready to tangle with that a little bit. Oh, and you don't have a follow-up. That's bad news for you. Okay, I can let them draw a card and double spell this turn. Or I could let them draw a card and get my tap land into play. Or I could not let them draw a card at all, which I kind of like. I am going to have to take damage from this fetch land to make sure my mana is functional. Blue and white are on Rockrin Triome. I don't have any green right now. I think it's probably just Stomping Ground. Yeah, let's just start stomping. Now I have the classic problem of, do I want to attack the creature or the the enabler. Like, obviously, Sigarda's Aid is their, like, combo piece, but my deck's really good at controlling creatures. I'm going to take out the creature, actually. Yeah, because if I can control creatures moving forward with any reliability at all, then Sigarda's Aid doesn't do anything if you don't have a creature. And after they miss their land drop, I want to take their card advantage engine offline as well. They gotta have a hammer, though. You wouldn't keep this hand without the potential to turn 2 blast. Oh, they just have nothing. It's fun. Okay, I'm gonna play Rockrin Triome. Attack for 3. Now we're in the awkward no engine phase of the game. March of Otherworldly Light. Yeah, that's an effective card against my creature. That also makes the rest of my turn pretty easy. I'm gonna play Cookbook. I'm gonna discard the other Cookbook. Make a food, and then cast my other Asmo, which gets another Cookbook. I'm extremely interested in Light from the Loam at this point. Oh, they found their land. If they have 1-drop plus hammer right now, they can get a 11/11 into play before I get to do anything. Stoneforge Mystic I can destroy. Come on, Light from the Loam. Okay, I'm going to cast Seismic Assault here. I'm going to let them know how serious I am about killing small creatures. I take out the Stoneforge Mystic and attack, leaving up Azmoran. There's a Saga. I prepared for that. And we know that was the draw for the turn. We know they have Colossal Hammer and 3 other spells in hand, because they missed a land drop and they've hit their last 2 in a row. They have the 3 cards that they kept at the beginning of this game, plus Colossus Hammer they just tutored for. Ali, alright. Gonna have to cook in response. And they left Saga untapped because they had to, so when I play Alpine Moon here, that will demand action. And Asmo's gonna get to cook. Beseju's pretty messed up. Alpine Moon. And Beseju costs 1 because I have a legend. There's a Saga. Gonna move into combat. They're gonna cast Hammer. I'm going to have Pure Steel eat itself. Hammer arrives. Doesn't get to attach to anything. Attacking for 3. I have a removal spell in my hand, but like a Light from the Loam makes this game unlosable. They're at 7. This could still go bad, but Beseju gives me a lot of comfort. We did it. Okay, the way that game played out, I think that I'm learning that I should not be cutting Loam because of how hungry these engines are. Like the Cookbook, the Assault, everything just wants to eat cards, and you don't have that many of them. So I think Loam might be uncuttable. Unless you expect Graveyard Hate specifically, but no matter how fast the matchup is, all your engines rely on just drawing 3 cards a turn. Noted. On to the next one. I'm on the draw in round 2, without a turn 1 Azmoran. This is an outrage. I'm going to mulligan this hand. It has 2 Seismic Assaults. I'm not even close to casting one of them, and the second one is redundant anyway. I'm going to ship it. Okay. We're inching closer to the Asmo. She's here. I'm going to keep this hand and chuck probably Aether Spellbomb and hope this matchup is not aggressive. The other option is chucking one of the fetch lands, but I kind of like guaranteeing the mana to get Ren up and running. I could also chuck Asmo, I guess. I don't have a discard outlet. Nah, I'm going to get rid of this Spellbomb. Misty Rainforest Go. That's what we're looking for after we start like this. Hey, a discard outlet. I'm going to play DRC and get in there. I believe I want to shock in a Stomping Ground here. I can get a basic to get Wooded Foothills online next turn if I need to. Yeah, Stomping Ground looks like the right one. I could also Urza Saga, Underworld Cookbook, discard a card, Asmo next turn, and set up Renin 6 for turn 3. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. It also gets me a Surveil trigger off of the Cookbook. Temple Garden. There's no Yorion over here, so it's not the 4-color Omnath Blink deck. It could be a 60-card version of it. I'm pretty sure Alan Wu has been out there playing that deck with only 60 cards. Oh, that was the best draw that there is in the whole deck. Urza Saga, let's go. Now I have an easy card to discard to Underworld Cookbook. My engine's online. We're cooking and booking. Triome into the graveyard where Loam can pick it up. I'm not going to get Delirium here, even if they counter or kill Asmo. And maybe I should have just attacked first, because now it's pretty clear that I'm an Asmo deck, and they're not going to waste removal on DRC. These first 2 turns are awesome. Let me just say. Serial is in my wheelhouse right now with this deck. I do feel like Ragavan would be better. And we've played 3.1 games so far, but so far DRC has not felt better than Ragavan would. All right, we got 4 colors over there. Maybe this is the 60 card cut. All right, got a little elemental action. Yeah, it is a 60 card Omnath deck. That is technically legal. Oh, Fury, yikes. Okay, Fury gets to... It pitched... Oh, your Glimpse, never mind, never mind. I know what's going on here. I understand. I have no route to get Delirium in response to this, so yeah, my creatures are dead. Fury's gone. Ren can pick off Risen Reef. Still in trouble to Omnath, but at least there's something going on here. Do I want to Dredge Loam? I don't think so. Either Spell Bomb. Not exciting, but there it is. I am going to get a basic Mountain and green-red, time to kill Risen Reef. And I can play this Spell Bomb at least. Alright, that was a big turn. Fury, cleaning up the mess, threatening a combo. Okay, they just didn't do anything. That doesn't mean they don't have anything. They can Violent Outburst on my turn just fine. I'm not going to Dredge Loam yet, because I'm using all my mana on construct-related business this turn. Shadow Spear, Pithing Needle. Don't think there's anything in their deck I needed Needle that would hurt their combo in any way. Probably just want Shadow Spear to start mushing. They missed their land drop and didn't cast a spell, but that doesn't really mean anything. I don't have any Graveyard Hate. Chalice is in the sideboard. Okay. Gonna get Shadow Spear. Plus targeting. Do I want to hold up Aether Spell Bomb? Or do I want to get my Saga getting to work? And I think the answer is Aether Spell Bomb, and I don't think it's particularly challenging. Okay. Endurance. Yeah, that's a good one. Sure. That's a thing you can do. Yeah, it's a pretty rough thing you can do, actually. Okay. My 5/5 is holding the fort. Let's see if it holds for long. I'm mostly glad that wasn't Violent Outburst, but still rough. Wave Sifter. God, I love this deck. I've played this deck twice on the channel, by the way. If you want to see what my opponent's up to with the Glimpse of Tomorrow combo, it is a thing that I've done multiple times, and it was a delight. I think I 4-1'd both leagues, and both of the losses were timing out during the combo. Wave Sifter has generated a lot of permanence here. End step, I'm gonna discard a cookbook. I have too many of those. It makes my construct bigger. Street Wraith. Find me something to do. That's something to do. It's not the blue mana I was looking for, but it's not nothing. Guess I could still draw a card with Aether Spell Bomb. I'd rather just equip Shadow Spear and get to work. The world will never know if it would have been a better idea to cast my cookbook or hold it back as a food. I could have attacked for 8 here, but they're at 14. That's a 2-turn clock anyway. I'm going to plus Ren so it doesn't just die to Endurance. Okay, go. Moment of Truth. Do they have the Cascade spell? They have 9 permanents to fuck with here. Pretty serious. Putting damage on Ren. And they did it pre-combat. So either their Glimpse combo doesn't involve combat, or they don't have it. Different builds do different things. Okay, they do have it. Sure. Let's see this thing in action. 42 cards revealed. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That card didn't exist when I played this deck. Alright, let's Glimpse Tomorrow. See what you got. 2 Risen Reefs and an Endurance. Here they come. It's a lot of Risen Reef triggers. They hit 2 lands and drew 3 cards. They can Endurance themselves to get glimpse back into their deck, but they didn't do that. They declined endurance. Fair enough. There's the Daddy. Triggers Risen Reef, is an elemental. There's a fetch land sitting in play. Okay, so they're going to get the life and the mana this turn at least. Magic Online was bugged the 2 times I played this deck. It didn't really understand what to do with it. Multiple Omnaths coming into play at the same time with multiple lands. Like, if you Glimpse of Tomorrow into 3 lands and 3 Omnaths, you should have to choose one for the Legend rule, and then 9 triggers go on the stack, and your opponent should... I'm gonna, real quick, make my creature bigger. What should happen is you should gain 4 life, get 12 mana, and the opponent takes 12 damage. But that's not what Magic Online does. Okay. I'm gonna play my Steam Vents untapped, because I have this 8/8 trample, and the ability to make it a 9/9, and the ability to remove a blocker. They can gain 4 life, though. If I use Aether Spellbomb, construct gets smaller. Just gotta keep that in mind. They could also just take it. Easily take it. They're piling the whole squad on. I assign the blocking order. I want Omnath first. I'm gonna bounce Endurance. 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Am I gonna bounce Endurance? I could just let combat happen here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could just kill 3 of these creatures and make a new construct. I think that's better. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's a better play. Talked myself into it. Alright, damage. Okay, your 3 things are dead. Renin 6. I think sacrificing Renin 6 to kill a Risen Reef. I think we're kind of like over the hump on that. Like, the damage is done, it's too late. Or, and I'm not recurring lands anyway. Yeah, I guess I'll kill a Risen Reef. Alright. Talked myself back out of it. Talked myself into ignoring Risen Reef, then talk myself out of it immediately. Card's pretty bonkers when they're doing anything with their deck. Now I can generate a 7/7 and bounce a creature if necessary. They fetched in my end step and failed to find. Good stuff. They get a Fable trigger here. They can discard up to 2, draw as many as they discard. I love Fable the Mirror Breaker, by the way, just as a Magic card. This does a lot of things that I like my Magic cards to do. Discarded 2 additional Fables. Interesting. Omnath. I could bounce Risen Reef in response, but that's a half measure. I'm just not interested in doing that. The Risen Reef trigger hit the land, so they've already gained 4 life off Omnath this turn. Yeah, I think I need to just slow grind them. Keep the pressure up with the Shadow Spear and the constructs. Colony Garden makes an object and 4 mana. We could see a spin here. There is a chance that there's not a Glimpse left in their deck because they pitched 1 to Fury and 1's in their graveyard. And they've drawn a lot of cards. We saw most of their deck on the first Glimpse that resolved. Like, it's possible that their third and last Glimpse is in their hand. Or it's possible they're just going to whip their deck at me right now. I'm in for whatever. Let's do it. Here to party. If they attack, I'm making the construct to block. They did not attack. Second main, they have another Wave Sifter. This one is evoked, though. The first one was cast. In the end step, make a construct. Let's play this turn cycle over again, where I crunch for 1,000,000. You make some blocks, and I see if I'm dead to your combo. I can't equip Shadow Spear this time around, though. I can name... Oh, is Reflection of Kiki-Jiki a Magic card? Choose a card name. Is that the name of a card? I don't actually know if this works. I'm going to get Needle anyway. And see if this is a thing. Okay, cool. That is a card name you can name, apparently. Just turn that off. At this point, I can attack with my 9/9, and either Spellbomb will make it so no amount of blocking can kill my creature, and they lose everything they block with. Yeah, I would expect just to chump with the plant token. They play DRC, that is a 3/3, or hold up Aether Spellbomb for a turn. I don't even think I want DRC because they have Endurance in play, and I just lose it in combat next turn without getting much value. It would be better to discard it, make a food, and put 2 power on the board that way. A land for Omnath, you got it. There were no islands or mountains in your deck last turn. Maybe there's a forest. Uh-oh, they figured out how to endurance themselves. Yeah, this will put the glimpse back in the deck. They could have done that off the first glimpse and didn't. So here it is now. Every creature is attacking. I'll block Omnath, I guess. That's the biggest one. You gotta assume this means a Warp World is coming. An Edge of Tomorrow. Glimpse of Tomorrow, whatever this is. Edge of Tomorrow is a movie. A good movie, if I remember correctly. I think that's the one where the soldiers have, it's like Groundhog Day, but at war with aliens. Another Fable. Makes another Goblin token. There's the Shardless Agent. Let's go. Oh, they hit all 4 Fables. I'm so happy for them. This fucking rules. This deck has so many triggers, though. It really is miserable to play on Magic Online. They hit 2 Furies, which can wipe out one of the constructs and spread some damage to the other. I'm just going to F6 and let all this resolve. I think the point where either Spellbomb's going to save me or not is long gone. I wish I could just concede so they can stop resolving these triggers, because I've been there and it's a pain in the ass, but also, like, just have a giant lifelink creature. And they haven't shown me they can kill me yet. Okay, another Fury. That's more responsible than spinning the wheels again, just for time. This is an 8/8 with 2 damage on it. Not dead yet. They do have 9 power worth of First Strike in play, though. That's enough to roast my big lifelink creature. But Aether Spellbomb can break it up. Asmoran. That's actually really big. I can equip Shadow Spear and then make a 4th food by discarding DRC. Now Asmoran can kill 2 things. I give up on Aether Spellbomb here in exchange for 2 removal spells instead of 1 bounce spell. Good deal. And Asmoran killing things also makes my construct smaller. They're flipping with Omnath in response here. They fetched once for 4 life. They're fetching again for mana. Does that mean they have Violent Outburst? I don't think this deck traditionally plays Solitude, but I mean, it would be pretty good here. They're fetching again. All right, they're out of fetchables. These are all the lands in the deck. Endurance, okay. Getting some Risen Reef triggers right now. Is attacking even the play? I'm really scared of these Furies. So gaining 10 life is pretty good. Okay, I'll attack and try to gain 10 life. And this is big enough now that I don't even have to kill Furies. Right, they're piling up homies on this. Okay, this thing is just gonna die. This is too many homies. I'm gonna make sure I take down as many of these Goblin tokens as possible, because I don't want them making a bunch of treasures, just doubling up on permanents before the next Warp World. Okie dokie. Here we are. I should probably just kill the Furies now because I can't beat them. I'm gonna have to do this eventually, so I'll just do it now. That lets me F6. They have 4 triggered abilities from Fable the Mirror Breaker. They can draw up to 8 cards right now. Incredible. They're declining all of it. I wonder if that's because their hand already has everything they need, or if they just need to win this game and another one in 7 minutes at this point. They're attacking. I'm going to block Shardless Agent. Risen Reef is a better creature, but Shardless Agent deals more damage. They're fetching when they failed to find last turn. Just forgot about that one, I guess. Another Asmo. Not really what I'm looking for here, but I can equip, which lets me tangle a lot better. And I can back it up with the Aether Spellbomb now. We got 4 reflections of Kiki Jiki, which are all still frozen from my Pithing Needle. Okay, if you attack with everything, I can go to 14. I take 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 there. If I block, I have to bounce something, probably Omnath. Declare blocks on Endurance, then bounce Omnath. Oh, something's happening. Oh, Violent Outburst. Now I have to bounce Fury. I might still be dead, but I'm definitely going to take the 2 damage off the board. I think they're just outbursting for the card. If they Warp World here, they just time out automatically. Right, I'm at 2. Still in this. I'm going to discard this Underworld cookbook to get Asmo. Another cookbook. They don't have quite enough to equip and make another food. I'm going to equip. What my opponent is experiencing right now was my big problem with playing this deck on Magic Online. The raw power of it versus the requisite clicks to actually win the game. Like I said before, I think I 4-1'd both times I played it, and both of the losses were timeouts or misclicks, and had nothing to do with the power level of the deck. They've defeated me. Chalice of the Void, big game. Anger of the Gods, I like. Ashiok shuts down fetch lands, but that doesn't really matter. Unholy Heat kind of beats up their fair plan a bit. Okay, as we learned, Pithing Needle doesn't do much here. I feel like Tameshi is going to be too slow. Jace is going to be too slow. So if we get into those grindy mid games, I don't need 3 Seismic Assaults for this matchup either. Chandra, -3, deals 3 damage to each non-elemental creature. I just want to draw everyone's attention to that non-elemental clause, or else I'd be slamming it in the deck. Disappointing. Okay, we're looking for Chalice, we're looking for Teferi, and that's pretty much the game plan. I found Teferi. This hand needs a red source to do anything, and a white source to do what I really wanted to. I still think this is worth keeping, though. The upside is there. Great Wraith will find me what I need. Vampiric Tutor, go! That was not what I wanted. Alright, I'm going to play Beseiju for my land and pass. Give myself a chance to play Ren next turn. Come on now. Fetch land. Shit. This is going badly. Fetch land still does the thing. Fetch land, white source. Not a fetch land or a white source. It is a land I can play, though. I will consider that a W. I'm going to put DRC in rather than Ren. Ren's not doing anything here, and DRC can get some selection with Unholy Heat. I love that Magic Online provides the reminder text of how many legends I control, even when these cards are in play. Just insult to injury. Like, A, you had to play these as lands. B, you still don't have any legends. Sucker. Nice. Alright, it's go time. I'm gonna get... Wait. Misty Rainforest doesn't fetch any white sources? No untapped white sources? I guess Sacred Foundry is the only one. Son of a bitch! Okay, I'm gonna get Rockrun Triome. And then I'm gonna play Ren in 6. Card on top of my deck is Urza Saga. I can put that into the graveyard. That does not give me Delirium. Not yet. And I'm going to pick up the Misty. I'm not going to attack into this obvious Endurance. Oh my god, look. Yeah, they gave up on keeping me from recurring a land to try to spike me in combat, and they should not have done that. I guess it depends on if they have something else to do with their mana, but I'm not going to fall for that shit. Come on. Okay. Fury kills all of my things. Yeah, they get to kill the Ren. Oh wow, they're just putting 4 damage on Ren. You could have put 1 damage on Dragon's Rage Channeler and the rest of the damage on Ren, and then attacked and killed both my things instead of just 1. But okay. It's your life to live. There's a Planeswalker in my graveyard now. I'm gonna cast Teferi and bounce Endurance. Bang. Land into my graveyard. Fairy's really gonna mess up their whole operation here. Bounce Endurance. Fetch another red source. I'm being pretty reckless with my life total right now, but I think I am far enough ahead that I can do that. Right, the DRC's showing up here, just milling Loam directly, milling Breeding Pool directly. I mean, all these cards are just going to be lost to this Endurance next turn anyway, but I'm going to get in the meantime. And they have to main phase the Endurance. They can't Cascade. And Chandra can kill Endurance. Yep, there it is. Graveyard's gone again. Back to baby size. Plus Teferi. I can Chandra here, even though Urza Saga does have 2 different land types, I think I can safely mill without hitting Delirium. Oh, but I'm killing the Endurance anyway. It doesn't matter. All right, yeah, kill Endurance. Play a land. I don't think they have any haste creatures. At least this build doesn't. Some builds do. Maybe I wanted that Ren. Oh, Seismic Assault plus Ren is a pretty powerful engine. There's a Fury. Pick off my DRCs. They're still not pressuring the board right now. Still can't combo. Kills Chandra as well. Well, the fact they had to kill Chandra and leave Teferi behind is really nice for me. So Omnath is bad news. Uh-oh. I'm actually in trouble here. This has deteriorated quickly. If I didn't play this island last turn, I would be able to kill Omnath right now. And I can kill Plant Token to... Oh, but I had to use all my red. And I don't have any black. Damn. Alright. This is falling apart, team. I thought we were doing well. But I could die right now. Foundation Breaker. Okay. I will destroy the Foundation Breaker on the way out. My foundation! Let's see if they spend time with Teferi or just try to win the game. They're just trying to win the game. I respect it. Anger of the Gods. I am angry at the gods right now. I can cast that as an instant, but their attacker is a 4/4. Violent Outburst. Alright, I'm just dead. God damn it. Well played, opponent. And I don't... Maybe I played bad. Maybe playing this island was the deal breaker, because if they don't have this Omnath, they're not in this game. Yeah, alright. GG's. My hand took a little while to get up and running. Like I didn't exactly curve out. Like everything came a turn later than I wanted it to because of the mana involved. Maybe if I don't surveil this Ren away, then my Seismic Assault gets to do more. Yeah, Fury. Hell of a card. GG's, opponent. On to the next round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. On the draw in round 3, another turn 1 Asmo. Let's go. That's why I lost last round, because I didn't do this. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to. Playing against a Wooded Foothill strategy. Maybe it's the mirror match. Uh-oh. I was almost a cookbook short of actually tutoring. Get the Stomping Ground. And let's Asmo. Any subsequent Asmoran I draw is going to be a lot worse because it doesn't draw a card. Getting Lightning Bolted here. Certainly shocked in that Stomping Ground. Alright, Lightning Bolt. Okay, some sort of Stomping Ground Lightning Bolt deck. Is this like a Valakut strategy? What deck plays those two cards? Another Stomping Ground. This has to be Ramp, right? Who else would do this? Dash Ragdaddy. Okay. Oh, there is a companion revealed. Wait, what is revealed here? What just happened? You all saw that, right? Am I crazy? Oh, this is the effects zone. Normally this is where companions hide, but the effect that was being revealed was the Ragavan dash. Right, Ragavan picked up a mountain. Play Urza Saga and get my books cooking here. I'm not actually going to activate these, but I do want them in play. This will get my construct out of burn range. Oh, is this just like some Gruul attacking deck? I don't know what this is. Is it Jund? We just haven't seen the black mana yet. Okay, another Ragavan connection. I'm already at 10 life, by the way. It's disappearing quickly. They got a Street Wraith. You want to cast that? You can't cycle from Ragavan. I'm sure they'd love to pay 2 life to draw a card here, but that's not how that card works. I'm not going to make foods in the end step. Do I have 1 and... How are my basics split? There's 1 mountain and it's already gone. Yeah, the Ragavan exiling mountain is actually somehow a giant beating right now. Keeps me off of Seismic Assault for a while. But I'm not really flush with lands to assault with anyway. Alright, they're dashing Ragavan into my enormous construct. It's a 3/3 on arrival, and I can make it a 5/5 with my books. I'm gonna hope they just forgot that I can pump it with the books and discard a Lightning Bolt and lose Ragavan for free here. Get in my belly! Take a food in response. The 4/4 now. Bigger than lightning. And I will trade with the Ragavan. Being at 9 life, yeah, that was pretty bad with me at 9. Losing a lightning bolt, that is 1/3 of my life total. But I guess I have foods that can recoup that if it becomes a problem. All right. I mean, still rough beats for my opponent. I'm gonna deploy another 4/4 here. Quickly become 5/5 with Shadow Spear. That's a good one. And I'm gonna play the Stomping Ground tapped because I cannot imagine what I need to Pithing Needle here, especially with urgency. If they are just like a Gruul attacking deck without any sort of combo or insane top end value engine, this Shadow Spear is gonna smear them. Like the way you beat decks like that is just by having bigger creatures, and I currently have a 5/5 that can become 7/7 at instant speed. It'll have Trample and Lifelink next turn. Bone Crusher Giant just up front. Here's the card in play. That's a deal. I'm just going to keep all my cards in my hand. I don't think I need this Cookbook or Pithing Needle. I just don't really want my opponent to know what my priorities are. 6/6 Lifelink, let's go. I'm pretty sure I'd rather have a food than a Pithing Needle against this deck. I'm going to push for damage here. 7/7, 8/8. Just feel like I need to get the game over and make my life total as big as possible. Uh-oh, they got a spell in the end step. Endurance. Okay, yeah, this does look like just a chunky Gruul deck with high rate creatures. Okay. They're currently attacking me for 10. If they have like Teamer Battle Rage or like Become Immense or like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of cards they could have that I'm worried about. Not that those are likely cards to have, but I don't know what's in this deck. Bloodbraid Elf. Fury. Okay. Fury does not kill anything on this board. It's just a double strike creature. Alright, TBD. If they have some way to like flicker their Fury or give it haste. Either of which seem to be the case. The Seismic Assault's rotting in my hand because Ragavan randomly spiked the wrong card. Alright, Construct Token, get in there. You're going to be a 10/10. I'm chucking these Seismic Assaults. Yeah, I can trade Construct for their whole board minus Noble Hierarch right now. 3, 6, 10. Yes, that is the total amount of toughness they have. Maybe I discard Slogurk. No, I don't know. I think it's the 2 Seismic Assaults. Like, I need to draw a land to make either of them work. Chandra's the best card in this hand by a lot. You gotta pile up the gang block here. I'm gonna make sure Fury dies. That's my blocking order. Make a food off of Seismic Assault. Make a food off of Seismic Assault. Trade my board for your board. And I guess I'm passing. You're at 6, I'm at 27. We both have 2 cards in hand. I have another 15 life waiting in play. That's pretty cool. Doesn't really bother me. I mean, Slogurk is unplayable now, but Chandra's still good. Any land. I guess Blood Moon is a reason to be the deck that they are. Did they like forget to reveal their companion? This is an Obosh deck. Look, just every card indicates Obosh. I don't know. Something's going on over there. Something suspicious. Chandra can kill Ignoble Hierarch. That takes them off Fury. But if I plus, they can't kill it with Fury anyway. I'm gonna plus and just deal 2 damage. Get to work. DRC. That's so close to castable. Opponent's at 4. Please don't have another Fury right now. I guess you need land Fury to actually... Oh god, stomp. Alright. Okay, they're hellbent. They can play this, the Bone Crusher. You know, Bloodbraid Elf or Fury both kill Chandra now, and I'm actually way behind. If that happens, Ignoble Boy can just attack Chandra down to 2. As Moran, I can play her. Yeah, she's actually really insane here. Exile the top card of my deck. It's an island. Opponent takes 2. I can cook my Slogurk. Make a delicious, a beautiful slime stew. And then Asmo should completely stabilize and wreck this board. Another book. And with Asmo, just gonna kill these creatures. There's no reason to let them have them. I have so many foods. My life total's already a zillion. Let's just win the game. They're dead to 2 different permanents that I have, both of which are also removal spells against their creature deck. With 2 cards in hand. Nice. Yeah, Blood Moon's kind of scary, but the rest of their deck really isn't. Things I can do. There are 2 basic forests in the deck. I have only Teferi and Prismatic Ending in my 75 that can remove a Blood Moon, and neither of those are castable with Blood Moon in play. Therefore, I might just become Gruul. Just, like, I can hope they don't have Blood Moon, or just play assuming they're going to. Like Unholy Heat, Endurance, Anger, Big Chandra. These are all cards I can bring in. The Pithing Needle seems terrible. Either Spellbomb without blue mana. It still cycles, but maybe it's bad. 3 is feeling like a lot of Seismic Assaults. Just every time this card's in my hand, I either have too many Seismic Assaults or not enough lands to make it happen. We haven't done the whole Loam thing yet. Real shame. Yeah, I'm just going to play this as Gruul aggro and prioritize fetching my basic forest. I think the last cut is Spellbomb. Or I don't have to bring in all the Endurances. Those are the 2 options. Endurance is a thick booty that survives my various Wrath effects. I think it's Spellbomb. I might not need 4 cookbooks, but yeah, I'm going to cut the blue card, or the quasi-blue card. This is my plan. Fetch a forest and then ignore Blood Moon. This... Oh, I do have a basic island. I forgot that was in the deck. Tight. Okay. Well, we're not going to need that. This hand has my basic forest. I'm going to roll with it. They may also have boarded out Blood Moon. I don't know. We'll see. Weird. Once again, no companion. Yeah, continue to play like an Obosh deck. Oh god. There's a Saga. Huge risk to Blood Moon's viability. All of the basics this could fetch are in my hand, so I'm going to get this out of the way now while I still can. And I'm going to get... So it's got to be Stomping Ground. Stomping Ground. And play Channeler. If they just Blood Moon me on curve right now, that's nice and convenient for them. Okay, that didn't happen. Lightning Bolt attack for 1. Deal. Right, I'd love to draw a Wraith or Cookbook. That didn't happen. Here's my Urza Saga. I am hanging myself out through to Blood Moon, but this is my best plan right now. If they either don't have or boarded out Blood Moons, Saga is going to assert itself on this game. We have 5 mana right now. They just fetched a Stomping Ground, which is not a thing someone is about to cast Blood Moon would do. Karn the Great Creator. That's powerful. What are we doing with this? Probably getting the coding. This is why they're not an Obosh deck. Karn is involved. There had to be a reason. Relic of Progenitus. Interesting. I guess I did show them I'm a Loam deck last game with Seismic Assault and stuff. Yeah, I can see why you'd want to do this. I also just reflexively clicked on Dragon's Rage Channeler, or on the land instead of Dragon's Rage Channeler, where the deck wants lands and doesn't give a shit about Dragon's Rage Channeler. Unholy Heat's a great draw. Okay, I can play Mountain or Island here and sandbag my forest against like Stone Rain or like straight up land destruction, but the forest also casts Endurance if I need that. And by holding back the mountain, I get to make construct, and then hold up Unholy Heat. Alright, my graveyard's empty. You've cleared it. Well done. If they minus Karn again, I get to Unholy Heat it. Alright, Karn is minused. It's good stuff. Are we going for a big Chungus here, or another Prison Element, or what are we doing? Liquid Metal Coating. Okay, I am prepared for that one. Guess it depends on how many Shatters are in their deck. If they just play like Shenanigans and Ancient Grudge and all sorts of crazy shit to make coding insane, then I'm in trouble. Alright, I feel like I'm walking into something here. Oh, because this is a 1/1. Yeah, I'm not going to trade for an Arbor Elf. I'm off it. Oh, just slamming a Fury into play. 3/3 double strike. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll co-sign that. Okay. Now I will move forward with the business of making constructs. They have 2 cards in hand. We know one of them's Liquid Metal Coating. They can draw another one at any time with Relic. Well, not any time, but anytime they have 1 mana. Construct token. I boarded out my Pithing Needle because I didn't see Karn game 1, but if I was really paying attention, the lack of Obosh could have indicated that for me. And I want Shadow Spear. That's the card that can actually take this game over. Though Cookbook... Oh no, I don't. I want Cookbook. Yeah, I'm going to get Cookbook, play my Mountain, and then attack my opponent. I'm going to attack Karn. Because I can Unholy Heat Karn if they block and make a food and clear the Fury. Right, they took the bait. Unholy Heat Karn, which gives me access to... I can discard the island, and now these creatures trade, and my opponent does not have a Karn anymore. The Coating's in hand. If they have a second Karn and can get online, I'm in trouble. Utopia Sprawl. Uh-oh. They just went in the Stratosphere, but with only 1 mystery card in hand, this is the time to do it. Graveyards are gone. 2 fresh ones in the hand. Uh-oh. We're tapping mana over there. Big mana. Bloodbraid Elf. Okay. Hit another Arbor Elf or some bullshit. Pillage! Okay. I was right to play around a Stone Rain earlier. They do have them. Do you want my Cookbook? Do you want my Construct? This destroys an artifact or a land. This is actually a really interesting decision. Going after Cookbook. Fair enough. That does turn off the Asmo in my hand. We still have 3 mana if they want it all. I'm absolutely trading with this Bloodbraid Elf. I've done all that I can to stabilize at a high life total, and that's where we are right now. Alright, last card in hand is Liquid Metal Coating. Time to just go big with roll creatures. I like Wrenn and 6 also. A lot to like about that card. And I'm just going to pretend I have nothing and pass. I'm going to fetch my other basic forest, and then my mana is entirely on if they Blood Moon me. I'm just worried about Arn here. The Dinguses are rumbling. I cast my Endurance. I guess I want to tuck my graveyard. And losing an artifact for Delirium is not irrelevant, but putting Cookbook back in the deck in case this game goes long and I get multiple Asmos. They've been pretty aggressive about graveyards anyway. Oh, drew Fury for turn. Pretty good. Fair enough. I'm actually going to fetch a weird land here and then just leave myself basic forest still in the deck if I want it later. But I can get a shock land or something here. I guess I want Steam Vents because Otawara is the blue card left in my deck. Oh, there's my forest. Classic. I can play Wrenn, ping an Arbor Elf, and just use Endurance to win the fight here. I think that's the line. Just play like they're not going to draw anything. God, they're tapping mana pre-combat. They drew Bloodbraid Elf. Oh, easy peasy. Okay, they get 1 extra token here. They lose the Liquid Metal Coating and draw an extra card. One of them's a land. I'm at Wrenn. Let's see what that 1 mystery card in hand is. I don't know if they use their graveyard, but I don't want them to have it at this point. It's possible they have Delirium stuff or something. And now that there's a land in my graveyard, it's worth protecting. Let's trade off with Fury. I am in trouble if I don't find a way to get Asmo into play. Come on, discard outlet. Wrenn and 6. Not really what I wanted to be doing here. I can pick off Arbor Elf. I can pick off Arbor Elf. Play the other Wrenn. It has enough loyalty to survive an attack. Get my land back. Asmo just rotting here. Rockrin Triome, one of the best draws in my deck because it enables Asmo, because cycling is discard, and also it's a draw engine with Wrenn. Fetch another shock land out of the deck. I'm going to keep getting Stomping Grounds here. Come on, Street Wraith. Oof. I'm going to recur the Foothills, but I'm not going to play it. I've been burned in this league before by playing out lands that I didn't need to when Seismic Assault is an engine that I have. Yep, Wrenn going to the graveyard. They attacked it with both creatures to play around removal or endurance. That was smart. Oh, they finally found something to cast. Yeah, that's a good thing to cast. I did a lot to stabilize this game, and it just did not end up working. The flip side of Azmoran, this is an extremely powerful card, but there is no backup plan. You do need to discard cards. Relic of Progenitus, okay. The same one from before. This Relic exiles itself, where Karn can just get it again. Wrenn 6 has left my graveyard. Street Wraith. Oh, Life from the Loam, you asshole. I guess I will at least try to force some action on this Relic. I'll get Breeding Pool this time. Make them think I still have things I can do. No, I don't. Okay, Life from the Loam just turned itself back into Misty Rainforest. Not very exciting. Karn's making another wish here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana available. Lattice is banned in this format, so it's not that. Wormcoil Engine, yeah, that's a good one. And Asmo basically doesn't even work at this point because I can't get more foods out of my cookbook because of Karn. Yeah, this one's not looking good for the team. And I'm not going to Drudge Loam because they have Relic. Draw a step here. Oh, baby. You even help? Fucking Wormcoil Engine. X damage to target creature or planeswalker. Alright, I can kill Karn. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but then I just die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have no basic lands left, so I can't kill Karn, then gain 3 life. Because I lose as much life as I gain to fetch shock. I guess I just hide the fact that Chandra's in my deck. I don't want them to have that information. Okay, time to switch up the sideboard plan. There's 2 new pieces of information. One is new to me, which is Karn, and the other is something that I should have known, which is I play a basic island. Slogurk is still castable. Don't really want Tameshi. Shattering Spree versus Karn's a little interesting. Pithing Needle gets a lot more exciting. Needling Karn is something that can be done. I like Anger of the Gods, especially now that I've seen Old Pyromancer. I could shave an Asmo in a cookbook, because cookbook doesn't work with Karn in play. It's a bad draw later, but getting Asmo down early is pretty strong. That's tricky. I like Seismic Assault a lot. I like Loam a lot. But we've seen Endurance and a shitload of removal. Maybe Dragon's Rage Channeler is worse than Asmo. Also seen Pillage. They have actual Stone Rains in their deck. Maybe I just need Jace, because even though I can't cast it under Blood Moon, I have ways to move bad cards around. The cookbook and such. So if I do this and I get one more card here, Tameshi would absolutely handle this deck, but Tameshi also is a graveyard thing. Just want the Assault back in. Not Ashiok. I can't cast Ashiok. This is tough. Right, I am going to get the Spellbomb. I'm going to try to respect Karn, but either Spellbomb, if I can clear the Karn, Spellbomb can answer. Wormcoil Engine. I don't know. It's not pretty. They're coming at me from a lot of angles here. This is a good start. I'm going to keep it. I think I'm just going to Stomping Ground, tapped, go. Because Wooded Foothills and Scalding Tarn can both access basic lands that I need. Please cast Ragavan. Cast like any 1-drop. Yeah. Wren's gonna eat a nice lunch here. Fetch for my basic forest. Get that set up. Wrenn. Pew pew. Ragavan can dash and kill Wrenn here if they have him. They could still dash Ragavan here. Please don't, though. How about that? Okay. Stomp. Also not ideal, but probably better than Rag. I'm holding on to this Street Wraith because when I draw Asmo, I want to be able to cast her. Right, I'm gonna Scalding Tarn, get my island, then Life from the Loam, my 2 lands back, and then Pithing Needle naming Karn. They are untapping into 4 mana. It could just have Bloodbraid Elf here instead of Karn, and my board's irrelevant. Klothys. Oh, that's a good one. Pretty slow, but not bad. Not going to dredge Loam. Right, Endurance plays here. I like that. Klothys does target, right? Exile target card. It does. So I can cycle Wraith to save my Loam if they go after Wraith. They are going after Loam, and I'm losing this 2 life anyway, so cycling Street Wraith to stifle the ability. Pretty exciting. Otawara can bounce Klothys, no matter what version it is, because it hits creatures or enchantments. They played this Boseiju rather than killing my Needle, which means they don't care about Needle. I'm going to grab Steam Vents here. Need to get my red sources up. Also going to cast Endurance. And now that there's a permanent in play that cares about things in graveyards, I am going to zap their graveyard. I'm busy using mine, but I can take theirs away as a resource at least. And they could have played Bone Crusher Giant and didn't. That tells me something. To be determined what that something is, but it tells me something. It might be Endurance. That's a likely thing that they'd leave up mana for here. But here we go. I'm going to play a full 3-card Loam. I have another Wraith to protect the Loam again. If they want to Endurance me to clear the lands, not a huge deal. Sure, that happens. And I'll play Scalding Tarn and pass the turn. Okay, I'm going to fetch Basic Mountain. Or do I need to fetch at all? I don't think I care about that. I'm just going to cycle again. Protect my Loam again. Seiju's in the graveyard. 2 of them. Could start machine gunning their lands. But they have plenty of basic land types, I'm sure, in this deck. Feels like a Fury. Yep. Oh god, Klothys is on? I'm so fucked. I don't have the mana to Otawara. Taking 7 here. Yikes! Okay. I'm mega dead. And Chandra doesn't kill these things because they're elementals. I have to fetch here. Grab Stomping Ground. Go to 5. Oh god. Yeah, Klothys waking up is not something I was ready for. Rockrin Triome is a douche lord. This is exactly the type of card I would have wanted in a normal game state, but now that I'm dying to all this shit, and I can bounce. No, I can't even bounce Fury, because then Klothys gets to trigger. If I bounce Klothys, I die to the other creatures. If I bounce Fury, Klothys triggers, puts me to 3, and they just replay the... Yep. This is not happening for me. Alright, GG's. They out-Gruuled me, which I'm not surprised, because they're actually built to be a Gruul deck, and I'm not, but yeah, Klothys. I feel like I was like a turn off or like a resource off here. If I had Seismic Assault or Asmo or a Planeswalker or like anything here to tip the balance, I feel like I'm favored, but I'm not going to beat this massive punching force on the ground here with just dredging life from Loam. Cool match. Next round. I'm on the draw with one of my favorite hands that I've ever seen. I'm going to keep this. Just in general, in Magic the Gathering, look at the 7 cards in this hand. Blooded Strand. Opponent mulled to 5. Wow. Decks with Hallowed Fountain in them generally don't mull to 5. Oh, okay. Slippery Bogle is a reason to do that. Okay. I think I want to... And this is kind of tough because the Rockrin Triome's really awkward. I want the DRC in play, but I also want to use my Saga. I'm going to play Triome. Pass. The Fairy can mess with the auras. Oh god, it's this version. Yeah, they were right to Mulda 4. I don't think I have anything resembling a plan for this. I'm going to play Saga. And I'm going to play DRC. And I'm going to chump block. As long as I can block this thing this turn, I'm going to. Oh, this gives flying, doesn't it? No, +1 and lifelink. Okay. Easy chump block here. Denies them 2 cards. This DRC is not doing anything better. I'm just going to be treading water for a while, using my constructs to chump. Trying to get set up somehow. Yeah, there is just truly no plan here for this matchup. There's like Anger of the Gods in the sideboard. I guess I could tread water into an endurance and eat this thing while it's still small. I'm not letting them divination every turn. As long as I can help it, I'm gonna spend my resources in this fashion. I could probably cycle one of these wraiths. I was holding on to one in case I draw Asmo, but now I can make moves. Oh no, this card looks bad for me. When an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura with mana value less than or equal to that aura and with a different name than each aura you control. Okay, yeah, that's a weird card, but very dangerous for me. Okay, deck, what do you got for me? Drawing a 1-mana artifact here would be sweet. I'm actually going to cycle Wraith now, see if I draw a 1-mana artifact. I'm going to keep going. Alright, didn't work. Disappointing. Okay. Cookbook, Pithing Needle, Aether Spellbomb. Spellbomb doesn't matter. I think I want Cookbook. That gets artifacts into play the fastest. And I'll play Steam Vents tapped here. I think it has Lifelink. Yeah, Lifelink is the only word on this card right now. My construct can currently trade with it. But this Light Pause is pretty scary. Rancor. I don't believe there are 0-mana enchantments. Less than or equal. Oh god. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Yeah, this card's fucking busted. Okay. Gonna block the Bogle. Discard Life from the Loam. Trading with the Bogle puts me at 1. And this creature doesn't have any protection. I can bounce it with Teferi. Alright. I don't know what just happened, but there it is. Oh, right. Light Pause has to attack the Light Pause. It doesn't just chuck them around. Yeah, obviously piling that onto Bogle would have been better. I am gonna dredge a Loam because I can't play the fetch land in my hand. Fairy. White, blue, green. I have been carefully fetching to get the correct fairy business together. Rancor goes to their hand. I will gain life eventually. So here's Misty Rainforest. Jace the Mind Sculptor. If they draw a land and can re-up the Light Pause all at once, that sucks. Rancoring Bogle also sucks. I'm going to discard a Brannon 6. I don't think that card's going to help me here. What a weird game this has been. I still think I'm not even close to winning. First Spoon costs 4 to return, so we're good there. Oh, that can block. And I'm delirious. Wow. All right. Good news all around. Plus Teferi. Then eat a food. Then fetch basic forest. I go to 3. Cast Life from the Loam. Play Wooded Foothills. Fetch basic mountain. I go to 2. I think that's the closest thing to a plan that I have. Mountain is still in the deck. At basic forest. Loam targeting Saga, Foothills, and Sacred Foundry. Foothills, fetch, and Dragon's Rage Channeler as a 3/3 flying. Okay. If they can give their Bogle +2/+2, they win. Protection from creatures also flies. Fair enough. You could make an argument that I'm just supposed to hide behind my foods there and gain 6 life and see another draw step. I think we're losing the game either way if they have any follow-up, and this one at least moves me to a state where I could start doing stuff, like if I get Tameshi operating. Okay, what the hell? This matchup is horrendous. Prismatic Ending, I guess Chalice of the Void on 1 is where I need to be here. Ashiok shuts down exactly Light Pause, which is a terrifying creature, no doubt. Anger and Chandra. I think I want the Unholy Heat, because there are some creatures in the deck that can be targeted by stuff. Like if I just lose Asmo, Underworld Cookbook, and Street Wraith, to get rid of that whole package because the food engine doesn't work, how am I winning a game then? I have to Shadow Spear up a Saga. If I put these 2 in, that's exactly 12 in, 12 out. I kind of like 1 cookbook in the deck to gain life and grow my constructs with. Oh, Aether Spellbomb doesn't really have Oh, Light Pause is a big Aether Spell Mob target. Pithing Needle, probably not necessary. Ashiok is the most suspicious thing here, but I think I'm in. I could just keep 2 more cookbooks in to gain life and grow my constructs faster over the 2 Ashioks. But they play fetch lands. They do have graveyard synergies. Light Pause is a tutor. All right, I'm going to play the Ashioks. Okay, I have a sweeper. I'm going to keep Boseiju also good in this matchup. Keep forgetting Boseju's over there. This card does so much. The question is, do I want to shock in to make my cookbook? And I think I do. I'm going to be spending all my mana for the next several turns. So there we go. I'm not going to use it, not for a while, but getting it down now is helpful. And I would love to draw a red source right now. Ren at 6. Not really a red source, but it does get the Boseiju machine gun running. I could also... No, I can't play Boseiju. All right, I'm going to play the Saga, hold up the Boseiju. Just see if I can keep myself alive for a while. Oh, but I need the Boseiju to cast the Ren? Shit. Yeah, this is a bad spot. Slightly awkward. Like, 1 red source sends this hand into overdrive, but without it, I'm in a lot of trouble. I guess it depends on what they play here. If they play like a cantrip thing, it might be worth beating up on. Oh, okay. They just played Light Pause. Deal. Magic Gods, I don't ask for much, but give me a red source right now. An untapped one. No Rockrin Triome. Uncurl that Monkey Paw. Red source, red land? Yes. I was never worried, were you? I don't know. I felt pretty good about that the whole time. My opponent doesn't need to worry about any top decks from me. I'm not that lucky. Okay, we're going into turn 3. They have no creature. Chalice of the Void. I think I'm going to skip making a construct and just float mana. This Chalice is too good. I'm going to grab Shadow Spear. And then I'm going to play Ren and 6. And get the Chalice back. Or the Saga back. Which is going to cast Chalice on 1. And I think that's a better way to play this game than just tapping to make a creature there. Now I have Boseiju looping. I have my Shadow Spear. They can't deploy most of their threats or their payoffs on their threats. I like what we've done here, team. Now the question is, do I play this Boseiju or just keep it in my hand forever? Oh, I can at least discard it to Underworld Cookbook and get value off Ren. Discard a card. Boseiju. Pick up the Boseiju. And I don't think I need Dragon's Rage Channeler in play bad enough to mess up a good thing with the Boseiju loop. Make 1 fucknormous construct. Oh, right. I have Chalice of the Void in play. I'm very glad I didn't cast Dragon's Rage Channeler last turn. It's tight plays for tight people over here. 10 and 6. Continue picking up my Urza Saga, please. And this... Unless they have something crazy, like Fracturing Gust, which would be an absurd card to have in your artifact, or your enchantment deck. I think we're in good shape here. Yep, okay. Yeah, that one felt good the whole time through. That Anger of the Gods that we totally had the red source for the whole time did what it needed to do. Now they've seen Chalice and Anger, they know what to play around a little bit. I don't think my plan is getting any better here. Right back in. This hand is not very good. Like, this is a perfectly functional lands and spells kind of hand, but my opponent's not playing lands and spells magic, so I don't get to either. The Shadow Spear is here, but nothing to hold it. I'm going to mulligan this. I like Boseiju. I like Prismatic Ending. I'm going to keep this. It obviously needs some help. The mana is a complete disaster, but I think I need to discard the... Or, the Chandra's a long way away, but Ren can kind of try to get me there. I'm going to lose the Assault. That's actually the one that doesn't really do anything. That's a win con. I can go face with it later, but it doesn't really interact with their game plan much. I'd like to find a green source that does not use up my Boseiju. Land Go is a treat from my opponent. That's not a play I expect from Bogles very often. I can Prismatic Ending Light Pause if that's their turn 2 play. Got the Hallowed Fountain. Temple Garden. Show me a light pause. Sanctifier and Vec. Okay, I can kill that too. All good. Source? And I just bought myself a turn that I don't need a green source. And by I bought myself a turn, I mean the way they've played this game is giving me lots of time to set up. I'm not a Bogles expert, but any time that Bogles or any like linear aggro deck tries to settle into a over sideboarded reactive prison posture, I'm just really happy about that. Ashiok Game Ender. May or may not be relevant. Thematic ending, get rid of this creature. White, blue. Come on, fetch land. I would love to cast Wrenn and 6 and activate it in the same turn. Slippery Boglerinos here. Alright, now they're starting to bogle up. Sniffed out some of my removal, and now they're just piling on. Green source. Yeah, okay. I don't get to Wrenn this turn, but I do get to Beseiju their ethereal armor, which is going to knock a zillion power and toughness off of this thing. Buy me some time, give me a target for Wrenn next turn. Another ethereal armor, okay. How deep are we going? Hyena Umbra, okay. And they are hellbent right now. They don't have to worry too much about how much I'm ramping them. Take out an ethereal armor. Going to be good for a lot of power and toughness. 5 power and toughness just dropped off this thing. Drawing another green source so I can Beseiju immediately. Oh, baby. Drawing another Beseiju even. Oh, I'm going to trick him so hard. Are you ready for this? I'm going to play the Wrenn. I'm going to plus on Beseiju. Then I'm going to play Beseiju. Like that was my land drop for the turn. Oh my god. Wow, it's so unlucky that I didn't have another land. I had to play the Beseiju that is better as a Beseiju than it is as a land. I'm so distraught with the state of this game right now. Ka-chow! Wrenn takes 3 and survives to Beseiju again. That's a big chunk of damage I didn't take. Oh, I'm having a good time right now. Wrenn, pick up Beseiju. Dragon's Rage Channeler, you know how to block. That gives me another turn of Besieging. Missing the land drop's rough. I can't cast any spells right now, but we're doing stuff. Blade Cover Scout. I don't care about that. I'm gonna block here. PRC will go into the graveyard. Don't even need to Beseiju proactively here. I will Beseiju in the end step though. Just work through these. Go ahead. Get every land out of your deck. If you can't attack with your creatures, I don't care. They're out of lands to search for. Oh my god. Tameshi, return target artifact or enchantment card. Okay, that doesn't actually do anything. Return a land you control to its owner's hand. It does draw cards starting next turn. And I can return a land I control to my hand, which includes Beseiju. But I do need a target. Return target artifact or enchantment. Yeah, you actually do need a target. You can't just ram that card into play and draw cards with it. But what you can do is reduce the cost of channeling Beseiju while putting a 2/3 body into play. Sanctifier and Vec exiles Dragon Rage Channeler. Did I even do anything last game that indicated this card would be good against me? Oh, I played an Anger of the Gods, I guess. It does survive that. Beseiju, destroy Hyena Umbra in the end step. We're just having fun now. There's an enchantment. Let's go. Turn Beseiju to my hand. I still can't cast any of the cards in my hand, but the board is stable. I'm going to start pulling ahead with Constructs and Shadow Spears shortly. Besejuing me. Okay. That's great, because I need the mana fixing, and it turns on Tameshi. Fucking deal. Yeah, you know I have Wrenn and 6 in play, right? Okay. I want a red source and a blue source. Steam Vents is both of those things. I'm not going to pay 2 life, though. And they conceded. Wow. It took some time to set up, like them not really presenting a threat until turn 3 gave me the time I needed here. But yeah, this engine, if you give it time to operate, it does get pretty heavy. Wrenn and 6, thank you for your work. Beseiju as well. On to the final round. I'm on the draw. I'm pretty sure I'm 0 for 5 on die rolls in this league. That's great, because I got to complain about it in the future. I've earned that. I'm going to keep this hand. It's pretty slow. like 3-drop tribal over here, but it does the engine things. First appearance of Slogurk that I can actually cast. And I do have Boseiju that operates on 2 mana if they're a deck where that does anything. Burden Catacombs. Water Grave. Alright, probably a discard spell here. Oh, Stitcher Supplier. That's terrifying. Alright, we're playing against Dredgevine, a deck I have not seen in quite some time. Glad they didn't have a Mem Knight there. Trigger that Vengevine. Alright, I'm going to play Rockrin Triome. I'm not going to have time to cycle it in this matchup, and if we do get to a point where I'm stable enough to start cycling, Tameshi can pick it up. Alright, I'm almost certainly getting Vengevine to this turn. Oh god, 2 of them. Yeah, there's a Gravecrawler in the graveyard, Stitcher Supplier. If I were cheating, if I could stack the top 3 cards, or top 6 cards in my deck, it would probably look like very similar to this. There'd be 1 less land involved, but 2 Vengevines, a Bloodghast, and a Gravecrawler to go with my zombie. Oh yeah. This is not winnable. We're literally dead. We're not going to make a 3rd land drop this game. This is another one of those anti-magic matchups that feel unwinnable. I will say we just beat Bogles, and Endurance does a lot more here than our plan did against Bogles. Vengevine is an elemental, isn't it? Or is it a plant? Plant elemental? I better look that up. It is an elemental. Bummer. Alright, Chandra, not great. Prismatic Ending and Unholy Heat can beat up on crabs. Anything Needle, not great. Aether Spellbomb, not great. Dragon's Rage Channeler probably sucks. Seismic Assault in concert with Loam can actually take over a game here. I'm not sure I want 3. I don't think 3 is the right number for this deck, now that I've played it. I remember talking to Serial about that during our coaching session, and now that I've actually put work in here, I don't like that number. Is Asmo something I want? I could treat this like last round. In removal does matter against this deck in a way that it doesn't matter against the Bogle deck. So Asmo does have a lot more text here. I think Tameshi is probably way too slow here. I could bring the Chalices in. Dragon's Rage Channeler can block. I'm pretty worried about losing life or having a card I can't cast, both of which are involved in the Asmo situation. Could bring in Chalices, that shuts off Gravecrawler shit, but I have so much graveyard hate now that I hope I don't need it. I'm not getting any green cards, am I? No. Great. I'm running out of time to figure this out, and I'm not doing a good job figuring it out either. 3 Asmos, 3 Cookbooks, 2 Wraiths. None of that sounds right. I'm clicking submit, though. We'll figure it out in game 3. Okay, there's an Ashiok. No help getting to that point, though. I guess Ren can pick off something at the midpoint. I'll keep the hand. You really want an Endurance, but if Ashiok is going to stabilize the game, it's going to do it on the play, and I'm going to do my best here. Feed on Sacred Foundry, because I just need red-green for next turn, and blue-blue for the turn after that, which any version of this does. I don't really want to ran a Stitcher Supplier, but I might if I have to. Okay. Just nothing go. Do I want to shock in? I guess I have to. Yeah, I have to if I want Ashiok next turn, which I do. Steam Vents is the only option. Yeah, because that gets me double blue. Oh, but that's not a green. Wow, this doesn't even work. I can't get Ren this turn if I want Ashiok next turn. I needed to play the Breeding Pool now and just skip on a Ren activation. Wow, that's embarrassing. I don't think I can let Ashiok wait a single extra turn. I guess I'm just getting Rockrin Triome then. Taking my medicine and play Underworld Cookbook. Otherworldly Gaze. Yeah, that's a good one. Gravecrawler, Misty Rainforest. In the graveyard, they kept 1 card on top. Alright, give me 1 turn to operate here. That's all I'm asking of you. Don't go insane right now. Vengevine and Creeping Chill. Or Folk Seeker Keeper. Alright, there is a Vengevine in there. Maybe just don't have a creature? No chance. No chance. A second Vengevine, too. No creature. 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 God damn it. Okay. I have to draw Anger of the Gods right now. 1 out to rule them all. Okay, I'm dead. Gonna mulligan to Endurance. The mana got me good on the Ren and 6. I just fucked up that whole sequencing, but that wouldn't have changed the game at all. Mulling to Endurance was the big other thing I could have done there. Also, them having 2 Vengevines in their top 6 cards both games was kind of a heater, but can't complain about that. That's Magic. Could have done something about it, which is mulligan to Endurance. Okay, we went 2-3 with the first version of this deck. I do think that Ragavan's going to be better than Dragon's Rage Channeler, though DRC had some cool moments, but it mostly just was never delirious and was bad. I'm kind of off DRC, so we're going to replace that with Ragavan for the next one. This is too many Seismic Assaults. I'm going to go down to 2 of that. And we really don't have any sort of plan for truly degenerate decks or like hyperlinear decks. Like, I'm kind of worried about even something as simple as Burn. I mean, we have Shadow Spear and Cookbook, but those take time to get online. But these hyperlinear decks like Bogles and Dredgevine and all of these things, I'm going to move the sideboard around a little bit for the next one. And I'm not going to figure that out now. I'm not going to record the next one for like another week, so it'll be to space these out a little bit. I'm going to let the format breathe a little bit, let myself stew on it, and you'll see the updated list at the beginning of the next video. Make sure you're followed and subscribed and turn on your notifications if you want to catch that one when it drops. Serial, thank you for this list. It is a very cool deck made for some really cool board situations, some fun puzzles to solve. Hopefully I will clean it up and put some more money into it in Ragavan for the next one. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the Patreon, the merch, the clicks, all the links in the video below. Do the things. Smash the buttons. I'll see you next time.